welcome to LinkedReach tutorial number 2. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about specializing your company, becoming a problem solver, AOS, also known as Audience Offer Sales, how to target decision makers and pain points, and some messaging templates. So, we're going to suggest that you focus on one niche at a time instead of a whole market when you're talking to people on LinkedIn. And some of you might be rolling your eyes and saying, okay, we've been doing this for decades. We know exactly our pitch. We know who we're targeting. But in the end, many of our clients just haven't succeeded in their social media ads or haven't gotten the results they wanted. So that's what we're going to talk about in this PowerPoint and start it off with. If you think you already know everything I'm going to say, then please watch this in 2x speed, but don't skip it. So, even though you sell to multiple niches, focus on one niche at a time for the best results. Don't focus on a whole wide industry. And if you're a recruiter, even though you might be recruiting for multiple roles, focus on one occupation at a time. And we're going to show this in an example to make it a bit clearer. So for example, a marketing agency, they can probably market for incredibly many different types of companies. But just saying you're the best marketing agency won't get people to click your ad. So by telling someone we're the number one marketing agency for restaurants in America, this marketing agency now thinks that they have narrowed down. They think they were showing their audience how specialized they are, and therefore all restaurants will come to them. And they got the right idea. Because if you're a restaurant owner and you're looking to find a marketing agency, would you want a marketing agency that's worked with many tech companies in the past, or a marketing agency that's worked with many restaurants in the past? But just targeting a whole wide industry, all the restaurants, the number one marketing agency for restaurants, isn't really enough. Because when a fine dining restaurant owner is looking at this ad, he's going to be thinking, we're not really a normal restaurants. We have many different things. It's a completely different tempo. We have different kind of staff, a different offer, different clientele. I don't know if this really is the ad for us. We're not for normal street corner pizzeria. And in the same way, the local food trucks in the area is going to look in this ad and we're going to see, the number one marketing agency. That sounds expensive. I don't know if that's within our budget. Or they might even be thinking, we're so different from a normal restaurants. This probably isn't the marketing agency for us. So we need to niche down inside the industry as well and show the specific type of customers that we know what they want and we got what they need. For recruiters, let's do an example here as well. If you're saying we're hiring programmers for an exciting new project, the programmer that's looking at this is going to say, okay, I'm a front-end developer, but I don't know if we're looking for a back-end developer. I don't know if I know the coding languages we're looking for. I'm not going to reach out and take a deeper look at this. So by targeting all audiences at the same time, in the end, you're targeting no one. So you need to assert yourself as the leader in your niche, the go-to guy to fix their problem. Because when you're the industry leader, the number one fine dining marketing agency, then the fine dining audience is going to look at your ad and we're going to see, okay, this maybe is the go-to guy to fix our problem. We're going to look at you in a completely different light. So what's the total step-by-step? We're going to go over the 2 steps we talked about previously, and then we're going to add 2 more. So by targeting all audiences, you're targeting no one. By asserting yourself as the leader in your niche, you become the go-to guy to fix the problem. That's a good thing. So what's the 2 next steps after we've decided on an audience and shown that we're the number one guy there? We need to be able to identify their pain points. If it's a fine dining restaurant, maybe it is they just don't have time to find their clientele. They don't know how to reach out and find their customer. So we need to identify that pain point. And then we're going to need to offer a very specific solution to that pain point. So, okay, we then know our audience is fine dining restaurants, where the go-to guy, because we have so many fine dining restaurants as customers, we have identified maybe a pain point is they don't have the time for marketing, or they don't know how to do it. We need to offer a very specific solution to that, so they know that we can fix their problem. But that's a lot right now. We're going to need to simplify this and break it down step by step. So let's write it all down. We're going to first decide on one audience. Which industry is it that you want to target? And is there maybe a sub-industry in that if it's a big audience? We're going to need to identify the pain points, because in the end, a happy customer is the best form of marketing. We're going to write those down, and we're going to add one extra thing. Makes the call? Who's the decision maker? Is it a CEO? Is it an owner, a marketing director, or a sales director? Who is it that has to greenlit hiring you for your services? That's what we're going to write down. So we're going to write down everything we know about your future customers or candidates. Who should we target? What are their struggles? And who's the decision maker? Okay, let's get ready to write down something about decision makers and candidates. So what you're first going to do is you're going to open a Word document or a Google Drive document like this. And we're going to write down a few questions and the answers to them. So whenever you see a question, pause and answer it. We'll continue. So we're going to start by identifying your target audience. And from this target audience, we're going to build your success story in the future. But first, we have to know who we're targeting. And of course, for recruiters and decision makers would equal the dream candidate. So, a very first question here. Make a list of all your products and a list of exactly to what type of companies you offer them to. So, all the different offers you have and to what type of companies you target. For a recruiter, that would instead be make a list of all your company have to offer, and exactly to what type of candidates you offer it to. It should of course be, but here, let's start with the sales. So for us, it would look something like this. Our offers is we help B2B companies to generate sales meetings with qualified leads on autopilot. We offer two types of products. We offer a done-for-you service where we do everything for you. And then we offer a create it yourself, set it up everything yourself, and of course this course. What type of companies do we target? We target tech, IT consultants, high-ticket services, consultants, coaches, and the sales departments of real estate companies. And if you would be a recruiter, it could look something like this. For us at LinkedReach, we target senior sales managers, people we want to employ. What we can offer them is that we have more than competitive salary. You can work from home, you have a lot of freedom, and we have pretty fun company vacation trips. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause, and I want you to write down this question. Make a list of your products and a list of exactly to what type of companies you offer them to. Pause this video, do that, and then come back. Okay, question 2. In our software, each campaign requires one offer and one audience, meaning that we're going to target one audience and we're going to deliver one type of offer to them. Pick your top offer and then the third best audience for that offer. And the reason we're doing that is that we're going to create a test campaign. We don't want to, the first time we're trying out the software, do that towards your best type of audience in case something would go wrong. So we're going to test it on your third best audience, and then when we know that everything's fine, everything works exactly like we wanted, we're going to pause that campaign and launch a second one on your best audience. So once you've done the test audience, come back here and then do it again for your best audience. So in our case, our best offer and our third best audience would be, of course, the course and create it yourself, and then targeting sales departments to B2B real estate companies. And of course, if you were to be a recruiter, some of the best offer for us would perhaps be that we have a more than competitive salary, and we would target then the sales department, sales managers. Describe your offer in detail. In what way does your offer help your customer/candidate, and how does it work? What result can you promise and give them? So, before you pause, let's read our example here. We help B2B companies to generate sales meetings with qualified leads on autopilot through our cloud-based LinkedIn software. They can expect to generate 10 to 15 weekly appointments after completing our tutorial programs depending on their industry. So, describe your offer in detail. We have here, what does the product do? How does it help your candidates? They can book weekly appointments. How does it work? Software for LinkedIn. And what are the results you can promise them? Yes, of course that. So pause the video, do the same for you. Okay, remind yourself of your best customer case study for the chosen audience and offer. And the reason we want to do that is like we talked about before with marketing. If you're, for example, targeting B2B real estate companies right now, and you show them, and you're thinking, oh, our very best customer success stories was in tech, let's show them that, they're going to think, we're not really in tech, this won't apply to us. So instead, choose the best customer success story for the audience you're targeting right now. So for us, that would be in real estate, we have Office Finder scaled from 0.2 to 2.5 million sales for our LinkedIn outreach automation software in 2 years. How much revenue is that customer consistently making right now? So they're making roughly $4.5 million per year. So they've gone from 0.2 to $4.5 million. Recruiters. How much have they increased in the best offer a company has to offer? So when you're recruiting someone, you have to think about what was your best type of offer. And for us, we were talking about salary. And perhaps it is that what you're offering is ability to climb in the organization. If, for example, someone feels that they're very stuck in their current position. So what we can write down here is the individual have gotten true promotions and doubled their salary since they started working for us, since we help them. Which industry is your target audience in? And of course, for us, that was the B2B office for real estate. Help companies with 50 plus employees find their perfect office space. That's what they do at Office Finder. So write down a quick summary of what the company you help does, or what the individual you've been recruiting, what's their role, etc. Sales, how many employees does your perfect client have? For us, that's roughly 20 to 50 employees. For the perfect kind of customer, we want to use our software. Recruiters, how many coworkers does your candidate currently have? And it will probably be somewhere around here. Same. If you're targeting Fortune 500 company, you will write down something like Apple. Okay. Are there more business/candidates similar to the one that you have described above, or is it a unicorn? If it is a unicorn, broaden your target audience. Don't worry, will be included in the broader audience. And this is because if you're saying like, oh, we want to only have the CEO of Apple, there's not going to be a lot of people like that. So perhaps you have to broaden your audience, but of course, the CEO of Apple will be included in the audience you're targeting then. So just have a little wider audience. In which country / area / city / neighborhood do you operate and or do you want to target? So the people we want to target are in Europe and more precisely Scandinavia. That's the area we're operating in. Sales. And of course, pause the video before you answer. Sales. What roles / titles does the decision maker that you would like to reach have within the target type of company? And this is very important to research. And for us, that would be the CEO, owner, and founder, sales manager, sales director, marketing manager, or here, CMO. These are the decision makers that can approve the usage of our software in the end. Recruiters. What role / title does the candidate that you'd like to reach have within the target type of company? So for us, people we'd want to employ would be people who are a sales manager or in senior sales. Pause and answer everything. Question 11. Sales. If there are multiple decision makers, who makes the purchase decisions? And with whom have you had the best close rate in the past? So for us, it's usually the sales manager or sales director, which we have the absolute best close rate with in the end. Though it can be in smaller companies, usually the CEO who makes that decision, if it's going to happen. It's quite easier to reach the sales manager and the sales director. Recruiters. Most roles / titles will have different specialization, yet might do the type of work you're looking for, or be ready to switch to that role. With which type of roles / titles have you had the best close rate in the past? So, when we've been hiring, we're noticing that people are in tech sales, of course, medicine, and B2B real estate are the people we've been recruiting from. K12. Summarize all we know about your target audience. Third best audience for the test campaign, of course, and then we can always add the best campaign for your second campaign right now, if you have the time. So, for us, the third best audience would be sales managers at real estate B2B companies with 20 to 50 employees in Europe. Our very best campaign would be sales managers of IT consultant companies with 20 plus employees in Scandinavia. Now you did it! You've created your first target audience. Now you know what type of company and which decision makers candidates you want to reach. Time to understand their pain points in order to help them solve them. Okay, great job with the decision makers and target audience, but now that we've narrowed that down, we want to understand their pain points and their needs. Okay, what is it that your target audience hate the most? Where in their company history are they currently? Are they a small company that just started? Are they more established on the market? Or are they heading to become Scandinavia's biggest company? What is their current struggles? Is it that they're growing too fast? Is it that they're just not growing at all in the tempo they desired? What is their dream goal for the next 3 years? Where do they want to see themselves? Because these are all the things your offer will solve. And the same way for recruiters, decision makers above will equals dream candidates. So where are the dream candidates currently? Where in the history are they? What are their current struggles? What are their dreams for the next 3 years? Let's start by writing down the first question. Insert your target audience from the previous worksheet. Question 2. We're jumping over back to the decision makers and candidates. We jump to question 2. In our software, each campaign requires one audience and one offer. So we have the sales departments and B2B real estate, which was the third best audience where we're going to target. Let's copy paste that, copy, and we're pasting it in here. So sales departments at B2B real estate companies. And it was sales managers, I believe, for recruiters. Sales, define exactly what you're helping the decision makers with. Okay, what are we helping the decision makers with? In our case, we assist B2B real estate decision makers to scale their companies from low to high revenue. We are helping them to book high quality clients. Because something we've noticed is with real estate companies is that it can be really hard to get a hold of, Microsoft Sweden. It's difficulty to find those high quality clients that will rent your office for a long period of time. And that's what we're going to help them with. Find the decision makers and help them get actually high quality clients. For recruiters, define exactly what you're helping the candidate with. Why would they want to work for your client if it doesn't benefit them? So we have to list out all the reasons why they should be working for you or the client you're working for. And that can, of course, be the same reason as above. You have a great company culture, blah, 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 and you have to narrow that down into a quick sentence. What is the current condition before you started helping them? And this is a very important question to research because there can be different types of segments in the market. It can be people who are growing very fast. It can be people who are not growing at all. And you have to narrow that down to the most important one. And these are things you can test. So write down 2 to 3 different versions and see where they're at. So for example, for us it can be they're struggling with finding customers and don't know how to fix it. Or they're growing and want to take their sales to the next level. It could be that either they're not finding customers at all, or they've been used to finding very low quality customers and want to upgrade to finding actually high quality customers. And this is, of course, within your audience, is this also 2 types of sub-audiences? So you have to decide on one of these that you want to target. And of course, you can test out both because maybe you'll have better success with one, lower success with one, and then you can launch another campaign targeting that specific type of individual. Test it for 1 to 2 weeks, switch it up, test for 1 to 2 weeks, and now you know which one works the best. For recruiters, it could be that they're tired of their existing job and interested in a new, exciting opportunity, or that their career growth is stagnating and would be interested in the next step of their career. Because sometimes, a company just doesn't have the manager position ready to offer to someone. And then individuals might really be ready to switch their job to a different company just to get that promotion. 4, what is their desired situation and how do you assist them in coming closer to it? So, for us, is the desired situation that their sales department can actually focus on closing deals instead of finding them. An endless flow of leads. If they aren't used to LinkedIn, we of course help them getting set up their automated lead tree. So that's how we assist them. For a recruiter, new exciting opportunity that is actually fun to work for. Company culture. A career growth is stagnating. They want to take the next step. And as always, pause between each question, write down your answers, and then continue. 5. What's currently preventing them from achieving it in their current state? For the sales, They don't have a knowledge of how to reach quality customers or how to consistently book meetings with high quality clients. Or they just won't switch their current sales system without a proven process of how to book new leads. Because, of course, it's a big risk. And that's something we'll have to know how to negate. Recruiters. A common thing is risk. Maybe they have a family, the economy is struggling, so they just don't want to risk searching for a new job. Everything's working out as it currently is, let's not risk anything. They might just be unaware. They don't have the knowledge of what they're missing out on. They don't know just how an exciting opportunity your company is, how great your office space is, your culture, etc., etc. Comfortable. If the individual don't get an offer where everything is taken care of them, they get a smooth transition process, they just won't take it because they don't really care about exciting new opportunities, they care about comfortability. But if you add those benefits that they actually want, they'd be like, okay, if you take care of everything, I'll start working. Okay, what happens if you don't help them with their current situation? So for sales, it could be little by little sales will decline or their goals won't be met, putting on pressure and increasing stress for all employees and the founders. That's something typically we've seen for people who don't use our software. Recruiters. The individual will grow more and more unhappy with their current work, which will affect the rest of their life. That's not a good one. Okay, sales. 7. How will not acting right now affect the decision maker in the long run? How will not acting right now? Well, if we're in decline, the emotional thing we might go bankrupt, or we just never will grow to the dream the founder always wanted. That is something we can act on. Recruiters. How will not acting right now affect the candidate's career and or their life in the long run? In 10 years, they'll never become the manager or CEO. They're currently stagnating in their current position. They're not growing at the tempo they wanted. So you can talk about that. Like, if they're not doing anything about it right now, where will they be in 10 years? 8. List some pain points, difficulties, and desires that you're regularly hearing when you're talking to your current audience. Okay, so here are some things for the sales. So, simply, they don't know how to get those meetings. They don't know how to get in contact with actually high quality customers and just know not the average leads. Something we might hear for bigger companies is they're just too busy. They don't have time switching to a new software. Some difficulties and pain points could be that they're just so tired of cold calling. They just don't want to cold call anymore. Or we can't meet our clients anymore and they need a new way of finding customers. And that was something really common during COVID, that a lot of companies used to meet customers in person, but all of a sudden they couldn't do that anymore. So it's always important to help them with things like that. Some of the desires then, some of the needs. We want more sales, or we want actually high quality leads. For the recruiters. So it could, for example, be a very boring, repetitive job for looking to switch title or role. They aren't getting the promotion as fast as they wanted to. They want to work remote, or they just don't want to work anymore. They're tired of everything being remote nowadays. They might be looking for a higher salary, more impressive work environment. They don't feel that they're getting the respect they deserve at their current company. Question 9, sales. What will your client achieve when they sign up for your offer? a calendar that actually have booked meetings every day, a calendar that isn't just booked with low quality leads. And now I've written something here, not targeting right now, cross out. So it's good to still have this pointed down, but in our first message, I think we're going to target the best type of audience, and that's going to be the people who just don't have booked meetings currently in their calendar. So it's good to have this written down, but that's not what we're going to try in the first campaign. That might be a second campaign for bigger companies that we want to target. Recruiters. What can your candidate achieve if they want to start working for you? So it could be, for example, a promotion, higher salary, actually enjoying their work. 10. Sales. List things everyone within your target audience have in common. Do they act on emotions like safety? Are they very logical? Do they use the same software? Are they knowledgeable within IT, etc.? And here I've written in parentheses, for example, if you're an insurance company, you might want to play on the emotions of bankruptcy if you're targeting founders, that you should get our security just in case things go south. What will happen to your family then? So is emotion something that's easy to target in your industry and your artisans, or are they fairly logical? So for us, it will be that our target audience, sales directors and managers, they're very analytical, they're weighing the pros towards the cons, and they usually love to socialize at the beginning of the calls. They like to get to know you before they sign up with you. And something we've noticed is that a lot of the bigger companies we're talking with use the CRM Lime. So it's very good to identify, for example, similar softwares, because that's something you can target then, of course. Recruiters. List traits everyone within your target audience have in common. Same type of hobbies, knowledgeable within IT. So when we're recruiting people and have them on a call, we usually notice that many people are board games lovers. So of course we have board game Thursdays at our companies. For some reason, a lot of people are on the same Reddit forums, and that's something we tried using in our message when we're talking to people, and it's gotten great responses. So do some research on that. More interested in good office than a salary. So usually when we take up people, they might have been working at smaller companies before, and they're interested in actually having a greater office space that feels more luxurious, and therefore they're also interested in benefits. Are there any industry-specific words, terms, or traits that can help you target, that can help your target audiences understand what you're talking about? So talk to the audience in their own words. This is a really important one because it goes back to what we talked about being the industry leader. If you're using their own terms, we're going to understand, okay, they've worked with clients like us before, they actually know what they're talking about, they feel knowledgeable, this is someone I'm currently comfortable with working with. And for us, in the real estate business, it could, for example, be words like return on investment, close rate, property book value, KPI. Just using their own lingo will help you a great way. So do some research on that and include that in your end message. Woof! We did it! Now we're done with this. You've been great today. We'll jump back to the presentation and finish up a great summary of what we're talking about, and then we're done for the day. So welcome back to the presentation. Now we've narrowed down the target audience, the decision makers, and their pain points. We could jump directly to creating our, success story, but we've noticed that some of you get a little bit impatient, so we're gonna go through some quick messaging templates based on what you've just created. And as we've talked about many times, the road to success is targeting one audience with one offer, because that equals sales in the end. AOS. But something that you need to do then in your messaging template is your ultimate sales equation, aka target audience, pain point, solution to that pain point. So what we're going to do in the message then, but you're going to target someone, we're going to choose one target audience, we're going to show that we know their pain point, and then we're going to talk about a solution to that pain point, USE. Okay, so that usually goes something like, we're going to help target audience to fix their pain point via the solution to that pain point. And for us, who has the LinkedIn automation software, that looks something like, okay, we are helping real estate companies to increase sales by generating new sales meetings. The target audience, real estate companies, pain point, they're having trouble with their sales right now, solution to pain point by generating new sales meetings. And in the decisions and desires, we talked a lot about that though we help small companies by generating new sales, we also help growing companies by getting high quality customers. But that is a different pain point. That's a different sub-audience within the same audience. So that's very important to not trying to target everyone. Remember, by targeting everyone, you're targeting no one. So we're going to choose one sub-audience here who has a specific problem and then a specific solution to that. Later in the future, you can go back to the same audience and then come up with a different pain point and different solutions. You don't have to, narrow it down. You can even try both of them at the same time if you wish to see which one works out the best for you. So I want you to write down 2 to 3 versions of this, and then you're going to go with the one you think is the best for your best type of audience. Now that you've done that, I'm sorry to say that it isn't the end, because there are a lot of different companies out there on the market and people have a short attention span. So we need to make a big promise to our customers and their audience, but it has to be true. So let's show you an example of that in the ultimate sales equation. If we're doing the simple automated version, where we just blast out our message directly, it could go something like this. If I could show you how the office leasing firms we work with book an extra 5 to 15 sales meeting each week, would you be open to seeing how? Okay, if we jump back then, that's the target audience, office leasing firms. We have a pain point of sales meeting, and then we have a solution to that pain point. And by also saying, if we could show you how the office leasing firms we work with, we're implanting to them that we're the industry leader. Book an extra 50 meetings, would you be open to seeing how? And we don't say directly how we do it, but just blasting out, this is what we do. Because, everyone aren't ready to jump on the bandwagon directly. They don't know that what we're offering is a great offer. So we got to pique their curiosity. That will get them to jump on the sales call. But then again, this is the easy automated version. What if you're maybe targeting in a bigger client for a high quality offer? You probably know that the hardest part about owning a real estate business is signing new clients. That's why small and medium-sized OFs come to us with that specializes in helping OFs getting new B2B customers without spending money on ads. Some of our customers include X, Y, and Z. If you're also looking to signing on new clients, I'd love to schedule a totally free discovery call where we can discuss how we can help you. So, if you're targeting a bigger client who you've struck up a conversation with, this can work because we're showing that we're an industry leader and we're understanding their pain points. It can be very hard to sign new clients as an owner. We're showing that we're an industry leader by saying, we've signed several different companies like yours. We're using the terms in the business, OFs, office leasing firms. So they know that we know what we're talking about, and we're also piquing their interest without spending money on ads, because that's something they probably have tried many times. So we're saying, okay, without spending money on ads, they're might be a little bit curious how we're doing that. This last part is if you're targeting a bigger firm, it's usually important to show that you've worked with competent customers similar to them in the past. So we throw in some clout. We're showing customers include X, Y, and Z. So that is two different ways then of how you can target small and big companies. If you're using the easy automated version. So a recap. We pick a niche based on your past successes. We find your audience, problems, and desires. And then we've shown some message templates using the USE. And in the next tutorial video, we're gonna create your success story and perhaps improve your LinkedIn profile a little bit so it looks ripe for the taking. But everyone who looks at it wants to book a meeting with you. Thank you so much for the video, and you did a great work today. Looking forward to the next video. Goodbye.